Well, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry I'm late to the game, and I'm gonna have to dip out here shortly. Anyways, I gotta take the daughter to the pumpkin patch to fulfill the father identity. Um, really, first thing I'll hit on, just thought-wise, is I think the way that how you phrase things, whether I am or I feel, that's going to give me a lot of food for thought for this week. Trying to be able to separate those two things for perspective. So appreciate that nugget for me to be able to mull over the coming days, because I don't know, it seems like a lot of good. I don't know. I find myself sometimes just saying, I am frustrated, I'm angry, and they're all just emotions that are just part of what's going on in a particular moment in time and not me. But the more you say it, the more maybe it reinforces subliminally. Maybe it starts making you more angry, more frustrated, because you're saying that that's who you are. So appreciate that nugget to, like I said, to kind of dwell over. The whole identity thing, and interesting hearing from your guys' perspectives on that. I look at my identity, and what I've come to find is I'm not defining my identity. I am what others need me to be. My identity is what others need me to be. None of it's like, this is what I want, this is what I am. It is, I'm a dad. I mean, I love it, but there's no choice. I need to fulfill that role, take care of my kids. I'm a husband. That's what she needs me to be. I'm a son, need to do what I need to do for my mom, a brother for my sisters and my brothers. At work, I'm there to take care of those guys. I've found that my EOD identity has slowly drifted away, becoming a senior NCO, and I'm more concerned with the welfare of folks versus going out there and be able to, get my hands dirty and do the technical aspect of things. It's more take care of people, not doing that. So I've been finding myself drifting that way, but getting satisfaction from that. That's probably where I draw a lot of my satisfaction. But it's all, what do they need me to be? Do I need to be a hard ass? Does this person need me to be, to be hard on them, or do they need the gentle gloves and reassurance? So it's having to be whatever the person needs, whomever needs. You need a CEM for a week. Well, next week I get to step up and go be a CEM and fill that identity. The week after that, I'll be doing partnership with the Army and the Navy, and it's like, okay, I'll fulfill that. Whatever's going to help, the organization and whatnot. So, and I think where it's going to start getting really confusing for me is I'm more and more considering the retirement. Giving up that time, that plan, and who I am. I don't know. So you guys brought up about coming up with, like, say, the three things. Hey, what are the three things you kind of identify? And my list is like way long on like what those things are. But it's not me. It's just what I have to do to, the identities others have given to me. And so I don't know. I think over the next year or two, I'm definitely going to be going through a huge, I don't want to call it crisis, but I'm going to have to get it all figured out of what distill that down to what's the most important to me, and what do I want to be identified as. Because the time's coming quick, and I probably need to figure that out before I move on to the next chapter. But anyway, so those are my thoughts.
Hey, I want to throw something there again, going back to identity, and my impression of where we get lost in identity is sometimes we got to remember identity is at the very center of the gumball, right? There's layers outside who we can become and fill roles that maybe aren't that closely aligned to our identity. You talked about filling a CEM role. I wouldn't say that's going to be your identity. That's going to be a role you're filling next week. But your identity, though, is somebody who's trustworthy to be put in that position, who's qualified to be in that position, and who has that servant leadership heart that's going to be interested in taking care of people and looking out for them and telling their story when they need it told, right? And being able to lead in that way. So, I mean, I just think a lot of people struggle with the hats because of the title and the job description of that hat. I was an EOD guy. And what I'm trying to say, I'm not known as the EOD guy to a lot of people that don't know that part about me. I'm known by a lot of different things. I like to volunteer for stuff. I like to, help people, stuff like that. I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's not, hopefully that won't be any different for you when you leave. Those attributes and those qualities that you have, being a parent, they always said, you can be a dad or you can be a father, right? One gets you in the door biologically. The other one is like, maybe my identity is somebody who stops the clock at 4 o'clock and goes out with my kid. Somebody who jumps off this call because it's important to be with my family. That's to me what I hope identity is. Not I'm a father. It's how well you're doing that role. To be present. I'm someone who's present. I'm someone who moves every day. Or I am somebody who daydreams. I am somebody who sits on the couch. That's that's kind of at the center of the gumball. Like, that's your identity. The stuff on the outside kind of falls away at some point. So I don't know if that helps or not, but I look forward to the change. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be scary too, but I think it's scarier to think about purpose than it is identity, because I think you're good there. But I mean, I don't know that. But purpose and meaning is going to be always a challenge for us as we move through these different identities or try to make sense of them all. And I think that's closer to the struggle. Bill, I'll hand the talking stick off. But anyway, thanks for that input, Bill. I just wanted to throw that out there for you, buddy.
Hey, Bill, you said something that struck with me. You said it's going to be a crisis, and then you quickly corrected that well, maybe not a crisis, but it kind of is. This the transition is a huge shift. And what is a crisis? A crisis is normally a very fast change, right, that happens, and you can prepare yourself for that crisis. We prepare ourselves for crises as a matter of course in prepping for emergencies or training or what have you. So yeah, there's going to be disruption. As Jerbo says, it's a huge change, and it's going to be challenging, and it is a little bit of a crisis. So if you kind of go in with your eyes open, that maybe hopefully that might help a little. So I think you're definitely on the right track with that.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, and I hope I didn't confuse anybody by what I put in the chat there by the definition of crisis by the masses changes. What I mean by that is what was a crisis when we were in uniform may look very different to what somebody thinks is a crisis or what it looks like outside. And that definition and that reality, at least for myself, has changed over the short 3 years very, very fast that I've been retired. And I would imagine Bill probably feels the same way. I don't know. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, I think as military folks, bomb techs especially, what we consider a crisis is probably at a very higher level. I know that in my circle of folks that I'm involved with, little things are huge problems or crises to them, whereas I'm like, it's not as big a deal, And I often think, is anyone trying to kill me? No. Okay, we can get through this. So it's definitely not at the same level, and I think everybody's definition, it's all about perspective, right? So anyway, I think that's definitely on point, Mario.